Why was a narcissist so mean to you? That's what I want to talk to you about today. It's something that's so hard to wrap your head around, alone your heart, especially when it comes from someone you love so much. Why did they mock you, humiliate you, withhold your affection, lash out without warning? The question so many survivors ask again and again is, why were they so cruel? And I know I say this often, but I say it because it needs to be repeated. It wasn't your fault. And if you're still carrying that question, was it something I did? Please hear me. It never was you. You didn't cause their cruelty. You were simply caught in the blast of someone else's unhealed chaos. Have you ever wondered if their cruelty is random, or do you think it's strategic? I believe that narcissists don't just lash out for no reason. The timing of their meanness is often precise, almost surgical like. It tends to surface when something, whether it's your joy, your growth, your independence, whatever it is, threatens their fragile sense of superiority. They need to be admired, worshipped even. But the moment they sense your light might be outshining theirs, they strike. And it's not always yelling or a dramatic fight. Sometimes it's a quiet jab, a sigh that drips with contempt, or a sudden cold front in what used to feel like warmth. Sound familiar? Their cruelty often wears the mask of indifference. But make no mistake about this, it's control in another costume. For Annie, it happened during what should have been one of the happiest times in her life, when she found out she was pregnant. She expected warmth, maybe a celebration, or at least a shared moment of awe at the life that they had created. But Santino, her husband, he grew distant, critical, and then cruel, slowly at first, like a change in the temperature. Almost don't notice it until you're freezing. His jokes became sharper, his patience shorter, and the warmth that once drew her in became a wall that she just couldn't climb. So why is it? Because her pregnancy meant change. It meant Annie's attention wouldn't revolve around him anymore. Her body, her energy, her heart, those would be shared now. And that was a threat. So he punished her for it. Not openly, but in 1,000 small, cutting ways. That's the twisted logic of the narcissist. If I can't be the center of your universe, I'll make you regret having a universe at all. That's how they think. Their meanness isn't power, it's immaturity. Narcissists are often so stuck emotionally in a state of arrested development. Their cruelty is a tantrum, really. When they feel insecure, ashamed, or afraid, they don't ask for reassurance, do they? They just strike. They punish you for triggering the shame they don't know how to handle. But here's the key. Their cruelty isn't about you. It's about the emptiness inside of them. You may have felt like your relationship was a partnership, but the narcissist, they saw it as a competition. They couldn't stand the idea of being less than you in any way. So the moment you excelled, glowed, healed, or even smiled in a way that they couldn't control, they got mean, because if they weren't the most admired, the most needed, the most powerful, then in their mind, they were nothing at all. And sometimes their meanness is driven by something even darker. Vengeance. Narcissists don't just want to win. They want to correct the story. If you hurt their ego by setting a boundary, walking away, or just even existing in your own light, they see it as betrayal, not disagreement, betrayal. And in their mind, betrayal demands punishment. They don't want you just to hurt inside. They want to prove to you that you were the problem all along. That's why their cruelty often continues even after the relationship ends, because to them, the story isn't over until you are discredited, maybe broken down, or at least small enough that they can feel superior again. It's not just insecurity, They're rewriting the story by hurting you. So if you're still wondering why they were so mean to you, this is what I want you to hear. It wasn't because you were weak. It wasn't because you were radiant. You loved with such a depth. You carried joy. You brought new life, whether literally or emotionally. It was too much for them. Their cruelty wasn't a reflection of your worth. It was a reflection of their fear, their broken mirror. You just didn't break it. You held up the truth long enough for them to see what they couldn't face. And here's the most beautiful part. You get the last word, not them, not the one who tried to tear you down. If this message resonates or if you feel moved, I invite you to comment, "I am Annie," in solidarity with every man, every woman rebuilding their truth on account of a narcissistic relationship. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Kyle Hackley, attorney and author of Undercurrent, a story about a woman named Annie who finds the courage to break free from her narcissistic marriage and finds the extraordinary life waiting for her on the other side. Annie isn't just one person. She's any man, any woman who has ever experienced narcissistic abuse. And as always, I want you to know that you are stronger than you ever believed. And I want you to be tenacious and never give up on what you believed in. Thank you for walking this path with me. I so appreciate you. And until next time, take good care of yourself. Thank you so much.